having a great time. In fact, my mind's freed up. I'm thinking about how I'm going to turn this into a speech someday. And I'm like, this is going to be great. And then I look up and I'm about 200 yards in the wrong direction. Like I just somehow just turned with my arm breath, and I'm way off course. And I was like, oh, shoot. So then I see the buoys. I go back to the buoy, and then I realize it is arm, breath, but it's arm, breath. Where's the buoy? Arm, breath, arm, breath, arm, breath. Where's the buoy? And then I just fly down the end, and I end the thing at like 48 minutes. Like it was literally like 35 to get down and like 15 back. If I would have been doing that the whole time, I would have probably set a record for my age. It was nuts. And anyway, we ended up, I ended up finishing the thing. And my teammates they were shocked. They weren't even ready to do the next level of the race, because there was no thought that I would get done anytime that soon. All right. Why do I tell this very long story? Because what I realized is it's not about the end goal. You have to have an end goal. You have to have that vision for your life, the destination. But if you just focus on that, you're never going to know what to do, and you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to drown. So instead, I wanted to focus on the buoys, like maybe the annual goals or even the quarterly goals. Like the annual goal I could call getting to the end, and that didn't help. Maybe quarterly goals, which we'll talk about, are like the buoys. They're important to see. If you don't focus on the annual and the quarterly, you're going to go way off track. And so you have to look up once in a while and know where you're going. But the magic, and you can write this down, the magic is in the rhythm. The magic is in the arm, breath. And so I just started applying that to my life. And this is really like my methodology. The Better Life methodology is have an identity-based vision for your life. Who do you want to become? What does that look like this year for an annual goal? Take that to a quarterly idea. What does that look like this quarter? Now, we use EOS, so the Entrepreneur Operating System from the book Traction, and they're really big on this. What's your quarterly rock or your quarterly goal? And I line that up. I'm a big vision guy. So when I talk about my companies, I lay out a very clear vision for where we're headed. This is how many employees we're going to have. This is how much income we're going to make. Here's how we're going to do it. And I lay out a very clear vision. That's the end. That's the end of the race. I help people establish quarterly goals. So we've got the benchmarks along the way. But then the real magic for my teams are in the rhythm. What do we do every single week? And it's not just work either. What do we do every single day? In fact, write this quote down. You get the results of what you repeatedly do. You get the results of what you repeatedly do. It's, I've often heard it said, you are what you repeatedly do, but I don't like that. And I don't think it's true. I think you are what those who say you are. You are what those who love you most say you are. You're not what you do. You are what those who love you most say you are. So you could say you're a good father, but if your kids don't say you're a good father, then you're not a good father. And there's some, obviously, if your kids are dirtbags and they just don't like that you're a good parent, whatever. But if they deep down, they believe that, right? If you think you're a good husband or a good wife and your spouse thinks you're terrible, well, guess what? You're probably not a good spouse. So you get the results of what you repeatedly do. So what is the rhythm in your life? And it's everything from date nights with your spouse. Like if you want to improve your marriage, what is the rhythm that gives you a better marriage? What is the rhythm that gives you better health? What is the rhythm that makes you a better dad or better mom? What is the rhythm that helps you buy more real estate? Now, I transferred this whole concept to my team, and we run it very specifically. Like everybody in the team has both vision, they have annual goals, they have quarterly goals, and they have rhythm. They have the weekly things that they measure and they track. It could be number of offers submitted. It could be number of deals analyzed. It could be the number of phone calls that come in on properties. There's a lot of different lead metrics, which can lead to the lag, the LAG, or the results.